Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Mission Matters. My name is Adam Torres, and if you'd like to apply to be a guest on the show, just head on over to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to apply. All right, so today I have Artur Kane on the line, and he's CMO and VP of Product over at GoodAccess. Artur, welcome to the show.
Welcome. Thank you very much, Adam, for having me today.
All right, so I'm excited to learn more about GoodAccess and really how you're helping your clients with productivity and security. But before we get into that, we'll start this episode the way that we start them all with our Mission Matters Minute. So, Artur, we at Mission Matters, we amplify stories for entrepreneurs, executives, and experts. That's our mission. Artur, what mission matters to you?
Adam, I grew up in an offline world, just like many of us, and then seemingly suddenly, the humanity has shifted a massive portion of their life into the digital space. But technology was ahead of education and legislation and security, and it came with a lot of problems. And in my career, I've seen many companies struggle, and the whole reason why GoodAccess was established was coming from a belief that just like in real world, internet should be a free space where some level of danger is inevitable, but everyone who wants should be able to and have chance to protect themselves.
So I'm curious, how did you get interested in this space and of internet and security and this industry? Like what drew you to it?
About 12 or 13 years ago, I joined a big tech company providing IT services to and outsourcing IT services and managing and taking care of IT assets and networks of our high-profile clients. Mm-hmm. And I've seen how much it takes, and with so many people on board working on the same project, any change was just really hard because of the sheer size of the projects and staff and people involved in the whole thing. And I knew that there, should be a way how I could help my customers better in achieving their goals and creating their IT environments and using them to deliver their business objectives. And I joined a small tech startup that tried to help smaller and medium-sized companies in achieving just that. And it was a laugh on the first sight. I felt so much closer to customers, so much more closer to understanding their needs and being able to make the change and make the decision. And that company was actually focusing on cybersecurity. So I've been in cybersecurity for about 10 years now. And my passion has only flourished. And this is what I do. I try to educate people in cybersecurity and help them understand the concepts of security and helping them to protect themselves.
So tell us a little bit more about your current company, so GoodAccess. So tell us exactly what you do.
So GoodAccess is a remote access technology that helps you to securely connect your remote workers with your IT systems over public internet. And regardless of where they are located, regardless of the device they use, make sure that the connection is secure, protected, and that your business assets, data, client data, and financial data are safe and sound, and cloaked from attackers that lurk on the internet. We do something called Zero Trust Network Access. It's quite a buzzword now, and there are many vendors who claim to do something called Zero Trust, but these technologies usually only serve enterprises and bigger companies who have the IT expertise and budget to implement them. But smaller and medium companies, in most cases, don't have the same budget, and the whole idea is really too complex for them to embrace. So we try to deliver it, simplified version that is super easy to deploy, and so we help smaller and medium-sized companies to implement and embrace zero trust principles.
So at a high level, like tell us a little bit more about zero trust security and what that means for the small business owner.
Sure. In physical or in real world, when you look at securing physical buildings, some time ago, the only protection was having a doorman or a security guard at the entrance door. And everyone who passed had to be, checked whether they live in the building. But when the entrance was left unattended, or someone used a back door, or tried to hide themselves, tailgate, or pretend to be someone else, the moment they stepped into the building, they had full access to everything inside. So we moved to a bit modern level of security with security cameras, reception desk with people, maybe 24/7 even, having access cards that only allow you to enter offices and doors that you need access to, and nothing else. So that even if someone steals your card, they don't have full access to the whole building, but only to a smaller portion. And the same applies to cybersecurity. We started by protecting our local networks, the network that you would connect to when you went to your company office. And we said everything that is outside of this network is unsecure, and everything what's inside is secure. And we had only one way to get in, and that was to connect to this network once we got into the building. But after the change in how we work and the sudden move of everyone to home office, and how companies were forced to become fully digital and still be productive, we had to rethink how we do this in an open internet. And zero trust concept is really just a copy of that applied to the internet. So people don't have implicit trust. No device has implicit trust. And we don't think of anyone entering our IT environment as a legitimate worker. We look at them first as someone who potentially can be an attacker, and assess who they are using and looking at their identity. And once we authenticate them, we will only provide the least necessary privileges for them to be able to carry out with their work, and not more, so that if their credentials are stolen, attackers cannot exploit it to gain access to the full network. And modern zero trust is really about doing this on the open internet for remote work, and not only in a local network.
And so what this does now, as you mentioned, is that gives the small business owner, where maybe, like you said, enterprise level, they couldn't create this network on their own, or pay to house it and also to maintain it, right? Like that would be substantial cost. So by doing it this way, you kind of you're giving them access to maybe a much higher level of security than they could do on their own. Am I understanding that correctly?
Yes, absolutely, Adam. And the great thing is our technology was built with SMB needs in mind. So all they really do is to create an account, log into it. It is a website that, just like you would log into your Gmail account or anywhere else, and they invite whoever they want to participate in this secure environment of theirs. And they add whatever assets they want to securely access. And they're done and set up in about 10 minutes, and they don't have to build infrastructures. They don't have to deploy different solutions and different combinations that are integrated together. It all comes as a few click, 10 minutes to deploy technology. So no expert skills are needed. And that's how we rethink zero trust for SMBs and how we try to democratize the market. And that's how we follow our vision to enable anyone who wants to be protected actually be able to do it.
That's amazing. First off, so the usability, or like for the user side of things, like this doesn't sound, based on what you just described, like it doesn't sound like it's really complicated to get started, right?
That's right. After COVID, companies were forced to start working remotely, and that really came with new ways of working, exchanging data, communication. But the only thing they wanted to do was to carry on doing their business as usual, provide services, manufacture goods, and they, while they knew there is some susceptibility to attacks, and while they may have heard from the news that 50% of ransomware attacks target SMBs, and the numbers increase every day. They would often procrastinate in implementing protection, and I totally understand that. When you read about security, it very much and very often talks about enterprise grade security, which is very complicated and is really for experts. But small companies, to stay alive, they need to be productive. They want to do, their business as usual, and they don't have time to learn about IT from scratch and try to create complex protection mechanisms themselves.
What kind of response have you gotten so far from this, like from the technology and from just some of the clients? Like, what's been the response so far?
It's overwhelming, really. We're developers of a technology. We try to make it as best as we can. We sometimes don't and make mistakes. And we're super happy that our clients are very responsive. We try to be in touch with them on one-on-one basis, each one of them. And when they do report something, we're on it and try to fix it as soon as we can. But in general, we have super nice reviews, and we try to listen to our customers' needs and develop and implement and innovate the technology with their needs in mind. And I think what was really a big breakthrough was that we introduced a free version that up to 100 employees can work forever free, and that took and engaged a lot of traction, and we truly believe that this is our mission. So we're super happy to serve customers in need.
Wow, that's exciting. So what type of clients are typically a good fit? So I think you answered part of that, but I want to go a little bit further. So you said companies that have, maybe less than 100 employees, they definitely have access. But then it sounds to me like you also, mid-sized companies as well, you can work with them. Like, give us a little bit of a feel for that.
Sure. We generally, our clients generally divide into two parts: smaller and medium ones. Medium ones, they often seek a simplified and easier to work with version of what they heard of and what they saw on the market before. And those clients are between 100 to 500 or even 1,000 employees. But we don't really develop solutions for above those numbers. And then the second part are smaller companies between 10 and 100 employees. And, if you identify yourself as a digital company, that means you work remotely, you connect to your customer resource management system that is hosted somewhere in the cloud, you use Google or Microsoft services for emails and storing data and exchanging documents. And if you connect to clients' networks or support their initiatives by maintaining their tools or systems, then you are definitely the one to think about protecting what you do on the internet with some zero trust and secure remote access tools.
That's awesome. So, first off, Arthur, it's been great having you on the show today and to learn more about GoodAccess and how you're helping business owners and executives out there. If somebody is listening to this and they want to learn more about GoodAccess, what's the best way for them to follow up and to connect?
Visit our website, GoodAccess.com, to learn about what we do, how we can help you, and make sure to try our forever free account. And it was great being here. Thank you very much for having me.
Oh, thank you so much. Appreciate you coming on the show. And for the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. Hope you learned a lot. If you did, don't forget, first go check out GoodAccess, but hit that subscribe button too. We have many more mission-based individuals coming up, just like Arthur on the line, and we don't want you to miss a thing. And Arthur, thanks again for coming on the show.
Thank you, Adam. Take care.
All right, Arthur, man, that was a great episode. You're definitely very articulate. You're definitely passionate.